This article mainly focuses on Denmark, which in 2004 they started giving out prenatal testing to all pregnant women of all ages, socioeconomic statuses. And what they found now is that, fast forward almost 15 or more than 15 years later, is that over 95% of women who get back the results saying that their child will have trisomy 21 Down syndrome, they choose to abort. What does that say about our society?
I think one of the problems with this is that rather than seeing children as our future, as our responsibility, as our hope, and myself as a parent of four, that my job is to be a steward of my children and to love them, appreciate who they are, help them become more. Instead, we're treating children like a consumer item that I'm going to order, and I'm going to get the hair color I want, and whether have them be athletic if I wish that, or academic if that's my preference. We've made it really a selfish consumer product where I'm going to order what I want, get what I want, and if I don't, I'm going to get rid of this child and try again. And that's so unfortunate because, I'll speak as a parent. There are good days and bad days as a parent. You need to love your child no matter what, not because they fill some void in you, but because you are giving to them. And I think that's what's so mixed up in this. You see, I had a beautiful cousin who was Down syndrome. She worked, she lived alone, she was very talented. Her life was her own. And we're starting to say other people can't live if I think the quality of life isn't going to be what I want for myself. Death by lack of expectation, death by discrimination over your perceived abilities. And it's really horrifying.
You're exactly right, and I'm so glad that you brought that up because a lot of pro-choicers, pro-abortionists, they get away with saying, oh, we don't want such a poor life for this child or that or this or that. However, who are we, who are you as a person to dictate what someone else's life is? To say, oh, I don't think you're going to have a good life, therefore I think that you should die before you even get a chance to live your life. It flips everything on its head because, as women, as mothers, we're supposed to protect our children at all costs. And here we have abortion putting a wedge between women and their own children, seeing them as a burden and something to be gotten rid of. And one part of the article that really struck out to me was that one woman, when she was talking to the author, she was saying that she had a false negative, that when she gave birth to her child, she didn't realize that the child would indeed have Down syndrome. And now a few years later, she's looking at her child saying if she had the chance to go back, that she would have chosen to abort, even knowing what she knows now. To me, that was horrifying. And even right now, as I'm saying that, I feel chills that you could look at your own child and see them thriving in life and still say, if I had a chance to do it all over again, I wouldn't have chosen you. I don't even know what to say. It's just so heartbreaking.
It really is. And what's so funny is we just went through an election cycle where everybody says they want to help the suffering, which, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but that was the pitch. And we're supposed to be working to address suffering, not kill people who we think might suffer. I mean, if your immigration policy was let's just never help anybody, people would rise up. That's irresponsible. That's unacceptable. But if your policy to children who may have a lack of ability in your mind, then the policy is let's just get rid of all these people. I mean, it just turns on our head the kind of people that we say we are as a society. We need to address suffering, not kill people who might suffer. And it's interesting. What I think is profound about this is it goes beyond Down syndrome. Down syndrome in the United States has an abortion rate of 90%. In Europe, 95 to 100%. But there are other kinds of conditions where people are perfectly lovely people but might have a condition like cystic fibrosis. About a year or two ago, there was a writer, I believe it was at the New Yorker or New York Magazine, writing about how she felt deceived when she got genetic testing and it didn't reveal cystic fibrosis. She wished she could retroactively end her son's life. A beautiful boy, perfectly intelligent. He can live a long life, but yes, he's going to have cystic fibrosis. What does it say about us as a culture if you don't do everything I think you should, that you should be dead? And then if people get wounded in an accident, what about the soldiers coming home from the field and they don't have all their limbs? So should we kill them? I mean, we are really turning into the shallow people looking for designer people and designer babies that have to be what I think they should be. And our humanity cannot be held hostage to what my neighbor's opinion is.